Shalom. The natural place for the Jewish people is in the land of Israel. In our rituals, we have a few reminders that are supposed to be reminding us, keeping us aware that even if we've spent hundreds of years in one spot, in one country, outside of the land of Israel, the center and the core, the heart of the people of Israel must be the land of Israel. For instance, we ask for rain in our prayers each year. We ask for it according to the needs of the land of Israel. We change it waiting for the season to begin in the land of Israel. We have a Yom Tov Sheni Shel Galuyot. We have a second day of Yom Tov outside the land of Israel, which makes a clear distinction between Jews living in Israel and Jews living abroad. But there is no real holiday to celebrate the land of Israel in our official Jewish calendar. They're all about other things. It works out that Tu Bishvat, especially in this age, is the most Zionist holiday that we have, the most Zionist festival we have, because it is talking about the fruits of the land of Israel. When the Torah praises the land of Israel, when Hashem wants to tell us what a wonderful land He's promised us for all times, He says it's a land flowing. Who doesn't know the pasuk? Eretz zavat chalav udvash, a land flowing with milk and honey. When Hashem wants to add even on more praise, He speaks that this is a land with 7 species: wheat, barley, grapes of the vine, olives, dates, figs, and pomegranates. It's talking about the fruits of the land of Israel. Tu B'Shvat was designated as a cut-off date. The sages had to decide until what day do you take tithes for the fruits of the previous year from those fruits, and what is the cut-off date that we say, well, these fruits are already of the next year, and the tithes have to be taken from them. We all were brought up properly, politely. We know we have to show appreciation. We have to give appreciation, recognition when it's due. So we say blessings to Hashem before we eat something and after we eat something. In the same way, the sages wanted to make it very clear. The blessings for last year, we have to pay our dues for them on the fruits of last year. And therefore, the cutoff date is Tu Bishvat, the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Shvat. But why? Why did they decide that day? The answer is given because in the land of Israel, according to the medium of all years of rainfall, the medium rainfall, most of the rain of that year has fallen by Tu B'Shvat. What falls later doesn't make that much difference to the trees who yield their fruits. But realize that's talking about the land of Israel. Here in the UK and in other places, it might be just reversed. So again, it's a reminder that we're supposed to be celebrating that God has given us a beautiful land, the land of Israel, with beautiful fruits that can sustain the Jewish people as it has had in the past. To conclude, some people don't appreciate that much. We forget because we've become accustomed, we've become used to living in the diaspora, in exile. But these customs that I've mentioned, Tu B'Shvat, as I said, a Zionist festival, reminding us actually Judaism and the Jewish people are supposed to be there on the land of Israel. I'd like to finish with a saying that's found in the Gemara, in the Talmud. Rabbi Ava, a famous Amorah, says, there is no sign more apparent, more clear, that the time has come for redemption and time to return to the land of Israel. What is that sign? And he quotes a pasuk, he quotes words from the prophet Ezekiel, in chapter 36, where the Hashem says through the mouth of the prophet, V'atem harei Yisrael, and you, the mountains of Israel, Piryechem titenu, give your fruit, Anafchem tisu, you will raise up your branches. Why? To my people Israel. Why? Because the time has come. He is saying that when the land of Israel is flourishing again with fruit, Hashem has sent us a sign. He's waiting for us, beckoning us to come home, to come back to the land that was promised to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov as an inheritance, as a heritage for their people, for their descendants, for all times. I'd like to wish you all a happy, a meaningful Tu B'Shvat.